and then the end. Oh my God! Fistful of Dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember
I
that
love
one.
that movie.
But we're now live.
Okay, we're now live. Have you given the stream to the patrons too?
Oh,
The
I
link.
forgot. Today's second Sunday. Why didn't you remind me, you jackass?
Because we said it yesterday.
I'm more partial to
So are we are live on Uber Tubers now?
Yep.
We are live on Uber Tubers. Hello, lads, lasses, enemy badasses,
Okay,
and
I'm gonna go throw that link up here in a second.
Mhm. And I'm gonna share it to the Discord. I already shared it to the socials as well too.
There we go.
God damn it.
It is.
Eyes are smiling. Short is like a mole.
Did anyone ever heard of the show, the movie Debbie Does Dallas?
Yes, I have heard of it, which actually, surprisingly enough, does pass the Bechdel test.
Well, a lot of porn does.
Yeah, a lot of porn does. Yes, exactly.
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
It's about a woman named Debbie who wants to have sex with a guy named Dallas.
Sure.
Like the TV show Dallas.
No, it's a guy named Dallas.
Yeah,
Dallas, the TV show, is set in Dallas. That's why it's called Dallas.
But I'm sure there's a parody of
Why does it
porn
look
period.
like that? It's like the country, but maybe that was Dallas in the early '80s. I guess. I guess it was more country back then.
Maybe it is.
A lot of Texans pretend to be country even when they live in Dallas.
Like
Yes.
I don't like the politics of Texas at all, but I will go to Texas one day to go to the Johnson Space Center.
And then you'll get shot.
I will make a trip to see that fucking mission control room that they did all the Apollo shit out of.
And then
And Ed Harris will be there, and he says that you're his real son, and he loves you, and he's proud of you.
Like, oh wait, are you making a radio reference?
No, Ed Harris is the guy who played Mission Control in Apollo 15.
Yeah, I know that. But radio with Cuba Gooding Jr. had Ed Harris as that football.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I remember that one too.
I was wondering if you're gonna make a connection to that dumbass movie.
And also
I hate saying it.
Cuba Gooding Jr. is a terrible, terrible, terrible person as well too.
You know what the best thing about Texas is? It's far away from Michigan.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
It is.
I just know him from a bunch of movies, but he was in that retelling of the O.J. Simpson murder.
Mm-hmm. And he was good at that apparently.
I wonder if he's going to be in 5 now, Dogs 5.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's a decent actor, but he's also been in a lot of
Stupid
he's been in
30
at least
Rock
one
joke.
terrible Christian movie.
Mm.
Are there any good ones?
Okay.
The one that's not about Christianity.
Okay. The Last Temptation of Christ. It has Christ in it. It's a good
No,
movie.
I'm sorry.
The Christians hate that
porn
one.
Yeah, 'cause it's got horny Jesus.
Spank Fest about that is not a good movie.
I will say that there may not be a lot of good Christian artwork, well, like media, but I do have a small loving for Touched by an Angel. I do. I don't know why.
Is that the TV show starring the black?
That is such a
Stella Reese
Christian freaking
and,
program. Oh my
what's her
god.
name?
It's such a
Leap was surprisingly Christian.
it's such
Stella
a
Reese and I can't remember what the Irish actress's name was.
Yeah, Della Reese, that's the one.
Rama Downey. I think that's her name.
That
Yeah.
sounds right.
Something like that.
I don't know. Maybe it was a '90s show. Maybe it's like I've always called it like X-Files, but more spiritual. I don't know.
What was the name of the guy who played in the original Touched by the Angel? Michael Landon?
Landon?
Landon
Yeah.
sounds
Oh,
like a
Highway to
name of an
Heaven?
actor.
Yeah, Michael
didn't he
Landon
die
also
before
played
that
in
show came out?
no, he played in it wasn't Touched by an Angel. What the heck was the name of that?
Highway to
I
Heaven.
thought he did. I
Is he the
thought
one in
Michael
Step by
Landon
Step?
played in
No, that's
and
Nigel Patrick Duffy.
Yeah.
oh shit, what was the
Yeah.
other guys also played in Little House on the Prairie with him.
Yeah,
That's Michael
but
Landon in
Highway to Heaven.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's-
Highway to Heaven.
It's like, I've been saying it.
Wow, that
the
guy
only
has a
show,
very punchable face.
the only
whoever
show
that is.
of the Little House on I call it Little House on the Prairie. The only show
Looks
that-
like the guy in Touched by an Angel was John Dye.
Yeah.
There you go. In any way, shape, or
Evening,
form
all.
was the pilot.
Wow, he's like the '50s version of Martin Short.
Oh,
Yeah, because
Hello, Mithra and
He
Ely.
pretended to
Yes,
play
we can
Santa
both hear you.
Claus.
Yeah.
So
Except Ely only shows up when he's, or not Ely. Mithra
If
only shows
Mithra-
up when he's moving.
Yes.
Because apparently
Slowly
he's
disappears
hiding in
into the
Pooh
fields
Corner.
like the Simpson meme.
So, hello everyone. It's been another week, and it's a Patreon show because despite me somehow not reminding John Bruckman that it's a Patreon show, it is the second Sunday of the month as
yeah,
well
what's
too.
up with that, Geek? Why you like that?
I don't know. I mentioned it in the Facebook Messenger group. Of course, like John Bruckman only like looks in that Facebook Messenger
Well,
group.
I showered, I ate lunch, I came here, and my microphone went to shit.
Oh, true. Yeah. You did have to fix that as well too, and that's why we're a little bit late.
Your microphone clearly didn't want you to eat.
My microphone got jealous. It was hungry.
You're gonna eat all that stuff and not bring me any?
You ate, and then the microphone ate shit.
better.
That's what I get for wiping my ass with the pop filter.
Okay.
Just checking you can hear me, that's all.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Jolly old
It's good.
England, we can hear you, Mithril.
Jolly old England, really.
It's-
Not always jolly, is it?
At the moment, I look like the Grim Reaper walking the bloody hills, but
It's
Yeah,
a Mr. Grimm here about the reaping.
You look like
You need to record yourself, Metro. You need to record yourself doing that, and then send me the recording. Make a long recording, like 5-10 minutes, and send me the recording, and I'll edit it and I'll put it to a Benny Hill theme.
oh god.
I
Cheers.
did that.
I
I
think-
babysat one of my. I call her the box goblin. I babysat one of my cousin's granddaughters, 10 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and she has this toy that I made her because I'm a redneck, and so it has to have duct tape in it, of course.
Of course.
It's a rope pull toy, okay. And then on the end of it, it's sprayed. So she takes it and she runs around the apartment with it, and the cats chase it, and she just has a grand time. She's laughing, giggling, carrying on, whatever, singing her songs that she kind of half knows the words to because she's 2. But I completely forgot where the fuck I was going with this.
Who knows? Who knows?
Benny Hill.
Yeah, Benny Hill.
Yeah, you're talking
oh,
about
yeah.
Benny
Benny
Hill?
Hill, yes. So I did all that, and then with the audio with her singing and whatever,
Mhm.
And then repeated like about half of it, but sped it up and put it to the Benny Hill thing, and she loved it, and so does her mother and her grandmother. And when I play it here, she waits for that fast part. She likes the fast part the best.
I would say, Mithril, you look like Ozzy Osbourne if he was the Grim Reaper.
Do you know what? It's a terrible
Looks like Ozzy
story.
Osbourne.
But a few years ago, I did have somebody walk. He was a little bit drunk. He was the worst for wear, claiming that I was actually Ozzy Osbourne. I'm just like, I can't handle this.
Well, you
I
do
just
look like you
can't.
spent the last 70 years taking all the drugs.
Well, yeah, thanks, John.
One of my favorite
Random
clips I
strangers
ever
coming
heard
up
on,
handing you bats.
the internet was
Yeah.
Actually, I'm pretty sure in England that bat is slang for vagina.
It really is.
well,
It
there's a lot
really
of
is.
slang in
Well,
England.
In
Um,
England,
Danny.
everything is slang for vagina.
There was this clip where the radio announcer says, "And now Ozzy Osbourne." Then he comes on, he's just completely not inaudible. What's the word I'm looking for? Incomprehensible.
Unintelligible.
For like 30-40 seconds, right? And at the end it says, "Brought to you by a partnership for drug-free America."
yeah.
Yeah, be careful or you could sound like Ozzy Osbourne too.
Oh, I fucking know. I'm nearly there.
Oh, and by the way,
Don't buy drugs. Become a pop star, and they give them to you for free.
Well, I haven't got the
by the way,
Brummy
fuck
accent.
Ozzy
though.
Osbourne.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
don't,
Bill Nye
he's
story
dead.
was the only good part of Love Actually.
Oh
I know.
yeah.
Not surprisingly, it's the one that only involved men.
I never really listened to a lot of his music, but
I remember that story.
I mean, the music was fine.
Mhm.
It was the shit that he did outside the music.
Oh yeah, that's my own problem with Ozzy Osbourne as well.
I
too.
feel like, but I
I'm
feel
guessing
like
he abused women.
No,
actually
Only
he
one.
did.
Only one.
he might have done
His
that. too.
wife.
He was
Yes.
one hell of a Zionist, and so is his wife.
Yes, no.
yeah.
The,
yeah, that's
One.
and
Yeah,
the
but
Animal Boost said that like Ozzy Osbourne
Didn't
did
he
as well, too.
abuse like all of his cats or something like
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
the
I
thing-
hate Ozzy Osbourne. I will never again listen to Crazy Train.
I will say this though. I don't think you can find like many like celebrities in Hollywood that are not Zionists. I'm sure.
Unfortunately,
Well, there was one who recently said on the Oscars that not all Jews support Israel.
Well, yeah. Like I said,
Stanley
like,
Tucci is also good on like Israel too,
like there's a few, but I
or
don't think
Palestine.
there's a lot.
I think you're
also,
right, Isaiah. I think you're right. I think they are few and far between, shall we
You know,
say.
I bet Bill Maher is pretty okay on Israel.
like maybe
Bill
Maher.
Maher suck my big Irish ass.
like maybe a lot of them.
There is zero chance Bill Maher is okay at.
Less
Oh,
than
no
zero. If
issue
there's
he is-
less
Bill Maher
than
has a decent
zero.
opinion on.
He is
There's a
he
no
is
sum, less than
so
zero mathematics. Yeah.
what's the word?
Right?
Kidding.
Specifically hates Muslim people.
Oh yeah, he does.
Islamophobic.
Islamophobic, thank you. That even if he didn't have any opinions about
Is he
like
Jewish?
good opinions about
Yes,
Israel,
half Jewish.
he would definitely support them just because he hates Muslims that much.
Right, and his mother is Jewish, and of course in the Jewish faith and something like that, so long as your mother's Jewish, you are Jewish as well
Yes,
too.
it descends matriarchally, doesn't it?
Yes,
I have to
exactly.
say, as an atheist,
Which is kind of hilarious when you talk about the
Well,
fact
he
that
is an
Jesus was supposed to
atheist,
be the
but you
son
can
of
be an
God.
atheist and Jew.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Jew is as much ethnic as it is religion.
Right.
Yes.
Jesus was supposed to be the son of God, but he's actually the son of Mary.
Yes.
Except
Exactly.
both Matthew and Luke have him trace the line of descent. Matthew wants to emphasize how Jewish he is, so he's descended from Abraham.
Yeah.
Luke wants to emphasize that he's the son of God, so he has him descended from Adam. But either way, they
Yeah.
both go through Joseph.
Just remember, Jesus was the first whitewashed character.
Oh yeah.
I also know that
He was a brown man.
he was Palestinian. Did you guys also know that too?
I'm not so
Oh,
sure
yeah.
about that.
You know why,
Jake,
too?
actually.
You know why?
I
too? Just
I think some of the Irish legends whitewashed characters because there's quite a strong suspicion that Phoenicians were amongst the first settlers in Ireland.
Oh well, don't give me
Well, the
info
Greeks
on
did
Maeve,
travel
because I
to
can tell you quite a bit
Ireland,
about
but-
Maeve. She was a bitch. I loved her, but she was a bitch.
What are we talking about?
Jesus, I think one of the reasons, the main reasons that Jesus was whitewashed, besides colonialism, etc., in general, is if you think about it at the time. Okay, so some Bible historians even think that Joseph was a stonemason, not a carpenter.
Yeah, because there aren't that many trees in Israel.
Okay, and so
And the word
But
they use
either
for
way-
Joseph
either way,
is like
okay, he
craftsman
grew
or
up-
carpenter.
he grew up son of a carpenter or a stonemason during a time when there were no power tools. Okay, so
When there were
everything
no what?
was done by hand.
Power tools.
So he
Oh.
kind of looked like, if he existed, and there's no proof that he did.
Yeah.
And I know people are going to love that statement. A
This is a
Palestinian.
debate. Yeah.
I always said it like this: a Palestinian Hulk Hogan or Randy.
Well, no, he
Orton.
would have been wiry rather than huge.
Right, but very, very muscular.
Yeah, because it. Yeah.
But the reason that the Renaissance, when they started, with Rembrandt and etc., when they started doing different paintings of Jesus, you always see him as this, of course, first of all, blonde hair and blue eyes. Okay.
Garden of Sweden.
And as little beard as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Well, they were following the Greek ideal of making him look like a little boy.
Feminine looking,
Mhm.
ethereal. I always used to put it limp-wristed, skinny ass, etc. Because their idea was that because he was then supposed to be nailed to the cross, etc., it would make his pain, his suffering seem that much greater.
Well,
Also,
wasn't
Greek
the
ideal
first
was
time
to make
he
him look like
appeared?
an 8-year-old boy, hence the tiny penises that were popular at the time.
Wasn't one of the first time that he is shown appearing as a white dude? It was when what's his butt painted
The Last Supper, Leonardo da
the
Vinci.
Borgia,
Like
that
Oh.
Borgia guy.
No, I'm pretty sure that there are depictions of Jesus making him look like whoever who was painting him, basically, back going back to the 6th century.
Right.
There's also a
Has his muscle?
suggestion that what Joseph was described as originally in the Aramaic was more of a master craftsman rather
Well,
than
we
just
don't have any
a
depictions
box
or
standard
descriptions of Joseph
carpenter,
in
whatever.
the Aramaic.
No,
We have
I'm
descriptions
talking
of
about
Joseph in Greek.
I'm talking about the word used to describe carpenter is a mistranslation of a master craftsman. So it would have actually come from quite a well-off background,
Right.
Well, not if he was from
and then
Nazareth.
all the rest
Nazareth
of
was
it,
a
you
small
know,
village that wouldn't have had anything like that.
They didn't make people travel to the town of their birth for the census, and
No.
just a whole bunch of garbage that was just made up whole cloth out of whole cloth by the church
I mean,
forefathers.
there are a few bits and pieces of history you can get out of the Gospels. Like Jesus was from Nazareth, we know that because they had to include it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have. They would have just made him from Bethlehem, because that's where
even that there is debate about, because
One of the
there's
best
some
arguments
claim
I've ever
he was a
heard
Nazarene rather than Nazareth,
One
which
of the
was
best
a
arguments I've ever heard
sect.
for the actual existence of a person named Jesus, or actually Yeshua, was done by Christopher Hitchens, and I hate the fact that I fucking quote that whole, but
Yeah.
because I can't stand Christopher Hitchens, but
Same here.
that'll make the atheist happy. That the Gospels disagreed. He said, and I agree with his logic here. He said there's no actual physical evidence, nothing written contemporary at all. But the Gospels were written versions of oral tales.
Yeah.
Yes.
Decades prior. Okay.
Yes.
And if they were made up out of whole cloth, let's just, we'll just devise this guy and we'll steal this part of this religion and that part of that religion and whatever. They would all match much more than they did. The Gospels actually disagree a lot.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The Gospels
So
can't
he
even
said- he
agree on the
felt
last
that
words on the
that
cross.
was a little bit of a logical
Fallacies?
sustenance
Okay,
for
yep.
an actual person existing.
Yep.
Because it was so different in different parts.
Well, each of the gospel writers, the reason they change them is for theological reasons, but they agree on things that they're not allowed to change about Jesus.
I'm just enjoying the conversation because I'm well out of my element listening to this.
That's okay.
Well, I don't remember the details, but I saw a thing, mythicism thing.
Yeah.
That was essentially talking about records they did have and assuming that Jesus was actually an amalgam of like 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah.
Well, and most people who are semi-steeped in the lore will say that
Which lore?
Tacitus and Josephus were evidence for Jesus, and they're not. First of all, they were written decades after his supposed death. Secondly, a lot of people even think that they were forgeries.
Well, one of them is everyone agrees that it has been changed somewhat.
Possibly. I just know
there's actually really good arguments for it being there's 2 things in Josephus. One of them is the one that you're talking about is possibly a forgery, but I've actually heard a really good argument that it's not. That once you understand the context that it's written in, it makes a lot more sense for Josephus to have written the Testimonium Flavianum. The other one is not contested.
My point
at all,
isn't necessarily
except
that
by
they were
mythicists.
forgeries as far as they didn't write them. It's that people claim that they were contemporaries, and they weren't.
Oh no,
Neither
definitely
one
not
was-
contemporary, but they are good evidence that there was a dude named Jesus. At least
My
one of them
my
is definitely
point
good
it's
evidence
like
because
saying
it's
that
just
because
about
we have tales
James.
of Apollo, that Apollo is real.
But I mean, one of them is talking about James, the brother of Jesus, and how he was executed, and the other one is the testimonium that the evangelicals love to point to. But there was a historical Jesus, and Josephus is good evidence for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I spent the first 30-ish years of my life as a Pentecostal fundamentalist, faith healing, speaking in tongues.
They're not known for giving you an accurate view of the gospel, so Shiv.
Right. Well, it depends upon what you consider to be accurate, number one, but it also depends upon your version, okay? And what I also love is now that the modern parlance has gone to, it's not the KJV. or the King James version. They say the King James because they don't want to say the King James version.
Yep.
That's what it is. It's a version.
Yes, absolutely it is.
Yep. And now there's the new revised standard version.
Oh.
Well,
I mean, there was the standard version, the new standard version, and then there was the revised standard version. Let's see. There was standard version, revised standard version. Now there's the new revised standard version.
If you ever want to check something biblically, for whatever reason, okay, whether you're a believer or not, go to BibleGateway.com because they have, I think it's 45 or 50 different translations.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, never trust the NIV, the new Initiates version.
Right.
Because that one was translated by evangelicals, and they put their thumbs on the scale to make sure it matched their theological tradition. But the NRSV, the newest translation put together by committee, is the best. Isaiah.
Well, they all did. I mean, the King James.
King James is good poetry, but it's not a good translation.
just as. I mean, it's got fabulous use of the English language. You know, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, there's absolutely
amazing as purely as literary criticism. It's fabulous. But
Revelation, not Revelations. There's no S.
Oh.
It was written by a guy sitting on a pole eating mushrooms.
Yeah, get high and read Revelation. Okay, or you don't necessarily have to even get high. Be a D&D player and read Revelation.
But yeah, the apocalypse it's an example of apocalypse literature. You have to understand the genre in order to understand what the hell he was doing. But,
has anybody else read the Ramayana?
I have not.
No.
Oh, not for a long time. A long time. I don't read,
ago. Honestly.
It's been probably about 20 years since I read it. But I had a copy of it at one time. I've also read the Quran, an English translation. The Eddas.
Yep.
I still have a copy of it. I'm still very fond of. I wouldn't call myself 100% Taoist philosophically, but I'm very close to it. One of the
so
things
you're a big fan of Star Wars, is what you're saying.
Yeah, there you go. One of the things I like about Taoism, unlike any other religion except for Buddhism, of course, is that the very first passage, like I like the Stephen Mitchell translation the best. Okay.
Like Mitchell and Webb?
And
I know.
Their very first line says, "The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao." Okay. My translation of that is, warning, what follows might be bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So it doesn't take itself, it doesn't say you have to do this and you have to follow these passages and whatever.
Yeah, Taoism is the tofu of religions. You put it close to another religion and it soaks up all their gods.
Maybe it's the Borg? I don't know.
You will be assimilated. So anyway, Isaiah had his hand up because he was patiently waiting for all of us to shut up.
You gotta interrupt us, Isaiah. You know that by now. Go ahead.
Well, when I do interrupt, people talk over me, so I don't.
I tried to say something, but then Mithral colonized the conversation.
Yeah,
Mithral. Okay, go ahead, Isaiah.
I was just saying I'm just well out of my depth with religion.
That's fair.
Don't like. Well, like I don't have a problem with religion or people being spiritual, but I have a huge problem with how people are using religion to do great harm. Like right now there's people who think that the genocide in Gaza is like God's will because they want all the Jews back. Even though that's not even in the Bible anywhere. So,
Israel has to exist in order for Jesus to come back, and Israel can't exist if there are a bunch of brown people there.
Well, none of that makes fucking sense.
Hey, it doesn't have to make sense, Isaiah. It doesn't have to for them to.
Religion doesn't make sense. That's the point. If it made sense, it would be science.
Maybe that's why a lot of autistic people are atheists.
I'm gonna take.
Gary O'Brien, one of my favorite comedians. And not just because he's Irish. Okay, you should check him out.
I thought it was O'Brien.
He hasn't toured in a long time, the asshole. I wish he would. But one of my favorite comments of his, he said, now he was talking about medicine, okay, but it works for religion and philosophy and whatever. Religion versus philosophy, I should say. Okay. He was talking about holistic medicine and what's the other one?
Alternative and complementary and all the others.
Homeopathic.
Starts with an H.
Homeopathy.
Homeopathic.
Yeah,
Homeopathy.
homeopathy. Okay. He's like, it's water. Okay.
It's fucking water.
You can't overdose on it. Well, you might drown. But,
you might fucking drown.
But he said, ancient Chinese this or that or whatever. Of course, that's racist too. But he said, well, we've had it for thousands of years. He said, yes, we've had it for thousands of years. And the stuff that worked, we call medicine. The rest of it, he said, is just some soup and a bowl of potpourri.
It's a kind of mechanistic view of the world, but I'm not entirely happy with. But
well, yeah, that's because you're an Odinist or some shit.
No, I'm not. Fuck you. The best reduction of it I ever saw was Terry Pratchett, where he was selling homeopathic whiskey, which was diluted so much that it ought to get you drunk for 3 months solid.
Every once in a while, the skeptic movement they'll go somewhere public and then overdose on sleeping pills.
Right. James Randi used to do that quite often.
Yep.
Homeopathy, for those of you who don't know, and there may be some who's watching who don't know, is the idea that the more you dilute something with water, the stronger it is. So if you take
that's part of it. The other thing is that they're giving you something that causes the same symptoms as the disease.
Right.
Homeopathy,
so
same
you take,
suffering.
Say, a Tylenol of whatever strength, it doesn't matter. And it's not one of the caplets, but it's a pill so that you can grind it. And you grind it up. And you dilute it in a lake of water. It's supposed to be far better.
It's because
the thing is, it's even worse than that.
Water has memory.
If you did their dilutions, then if you had a globe of their dilution, the size of the Earth, you would have a 50-50 chance that you'd have a single molecule of the original stuff left in it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's because they claim the water. Yeah, they claim the water has memory.
But it doesn't remember all the poo it had in it because it's the shaking.
Exactly. I mean,
you gotta shake it. Shake the goodness in.
Once you actually start to think about this,
Remember, fish like have sex and poop in the water. You're going to drink fish like sex, fish poop and fish cum?
Well,
I will.
Well, we do that already. That's what the water cycle is.
Exactly.
I'm a redneck.
I mean, astronauts have to recycle their pee, so
Tomorrow's Indigenous Peoples Day.
Oh, that's right. Tomorrow's is
Speaking of eating fish poo, tomorrow's Indigenous Peoples Day. That's a segue.
I was thinking in terms of speaking of things that work and things that don't work.
Yes.
I was going to ask, is that the stand-in for the Italian guy that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
that's
that's
also
the
hilarious
one
all
that
the people, because
Trump's
I have a small, tiny percentage of Sicilian, not Italian.
And he was Genoan. Italy didn't exist then.
That's fair point.
Where? Okay, I'll let Shaban finish.
Just like Jesus wasn't Israeli. Israel didn't exist.
With Columbus, he was so bad that he was arrested and imprisoned by the people who did the Spanish fucking Inquisition.
Yeah.
That's how bad
he kept sending back slaves, and they kept saying, "Don't send us. Why are you doing this?"
And so you want this to be your hero?
Because they like the white
surprisingly, these are the same people who worship Trump. So
I have a question. Why not? There are plenty of Italians they could have honored. Galileo.
No, he did science.
That would take reading and knowledge.
Well,
true.
Galileo.
And all the artists were gay. So
that one one map maker that got half of the world named after him.
Americana something or
Amerigo
Vespucci. Yes.
It's so
that's too close to pussy. They can't honor that.
Right now, okay, so New York City has a bridge called the Verrazano Narrows. Name it after. Why not have a Verrazano Day? Come on, man.
But I don't know about one.
You can't name something after New York City.
That would take learning.
Yes.
Reading.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Liz.
Colonization depends.
True.
On a legend like Columbus that we learn in school.
Yep.
It depends on it.
What about Liz Gillis? She's a
and much like much like the Confederate statues, the story
Yes.
of Christopher Columbus isn't even the story of Christopher Columbus. It's the
Yep.
story of an author who tried to use him as a hero of colonialization.
Yep.
His actual name
You
was
know-
Cristobal Colon.
I
Or
And,
colon, because he's full of shit.
I did that.
Yeah.
It was Cristobal Colon or something. They anglicized.
Given Trump's
Christopher Columbus.
known
Yes.
prejudices, I'm surprised he hasn't signed an executive order to ban Indigenous Peoples Day.
Given time.
Yeah.
He's actually saying he's bringing back Columbus Day.
Mhm.
And
Technically,
the
it never
White
went
House
anywhere.
is refusing to
Celebrate.
celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well,
That
these are the
surprises me
same.
not at all.
These are the same people that worship the Gulf of America.
Gulf of America, yes.
No.
Why is
Oh, speaking of which, and
So
Spanish.
Ely has something to say. Shush.
Just let Ely.
Okay,
if Columbus discovered America, why is it not called Columbia?
Ah.
Yeah.
Because
Because
the map maker is the one who put his name on it.
it
Yeah,
was
but
initially
It's
discovered
literally just.
Whoa.
by Americanario or something like that. I can't remember the exact name.
Amerigo Vespucci.
Yeah.
Ellie. Technically speaking, Columbia is the poetic name of America. So
Well, it's Uncle Sam is the masculine
District of
representation
Columbia.
of the American people, and Columbia is the feminine representation of the nation.
yeah,
Sort of
that-
like John Bull and Victoria for England.
or the bear in Russia.
Britannia.
Yeah, that's why.
Britannia for
Britannia, not
England.
Victoria.
That's why our first space shuttle was named Columbia because it was named.
And we have the District of Columbia, and then there's Columbus, Ohio, and Columbia, the capital of South Carolina, and a bunch of others.
Not the country of Columbia, because I think those are spelled differently.
sort of
Yeah, that's from
seg-
Colombia, but I think it's also named after Columbus.
Colombia.
Yes,
Sort
it
of
is.
Sort of segueing, but not. First of all, I detest sports. I will not
Oh,
watch sports.
That's fair, honestly.
Having
Fred
said
Circus.
that,
Mhm.
having said that, I will make every effort to tune in to the halftime show.
Yes, at this time.
Apparently, they're losing their shit over Bad Bunny.
Oh yes, because Bad Bunny is like
Puerto
Latinx,
Rican?
like a Puerto Rican.
He's
Yes,
Puerto
no,
Rican.
that's right. He is
Why
American.
can't they get an
Remember?
American?
Yes, he is American because Puerto Rico
There's
is
a
a
meme
U.S.
going around on
Commonwealth.
Facebook. I could look it up, but I'm not going to. There's a meme going around on Facebook that has like 12 or 13 people, including the Stones,
Hmm.
whoever, okay, that have done the Super Bowl, who are not American citizens, and
Yep, the
nobody
Who.
had a problem. But as soon as an American citizen gets up there, and what's funny is to then watch the people who claim that he wasn't, or that he isn't an American citizen,
Yeah.
state that, and then when you point out he's an American citizen, there are let's put it this way: there are reactions on YouTube. Go look them up. There's-
I mean,
okay.
I had a problem with the Stones
Watching,
doing the Super Bowl just because they did it 20 years after they should have, and it wasn't
Yeah.
an
Oh,
entertaining show because
that's
it
fair.
was literally a bunch of old men who could barely play anymore.
Same with
I-
the Who too.
Yeah,
Isaiah,
I don't
you
like
got
the
something you want to say.
Stones.
I do. Okay, so everyone is complaining that Bad Bunny is playing at the Super Bowl, but
I'm not.
they seem to have been okay when Jennifer Lopez, who's also Puerto Rican, shook her little butt at the Super Bowl, but they were complaining
Yep.
about that. So
Well, that's because she's married to a white guy.
now I'm
No,
gonna be
she's not. It doesn't matter. But
as the second person
actually,
of
she
color
was, wasn't she?
Now, I'm going to be honest, as the second person of color on this podcast, I don't really do hip hop music all that much. I don't really care about it. When it comes to music, they're very white. But I do like to indulge in the fact that a lot of people are fixing to be triggered over Bad Bunny.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Triggered
They're
so
not, they ain't fixing to be triggered. Day's already triggered, boy.
triggered so much
friend.
that they want to have
They're
their
even
own
talking about.
show.
They're
They
even
would have
talking
their
about
own
organizing
show
it.
somewhere else, like a segregated prom.
Yep, that they're talking about making another sort of halftime show with whoever.
Yeah. They're
Oh,
trying to
for
make
God's
a
sake.
separate but
Maybe they
equal
could
halftime.
get
God's
Dr. Phil
sake.
Jr. to appear,
Oh
and
God. these
They're gonna have Kevin
people.
Sorbo.
I'm sorry, but
Dude.
you look at Kid Rock.
Ted Nugent. They're gonna have
You
him.
look at Kid Rock and you look at Dr. Phil. Kid
God.
Rock is Dr. Phil Jr. I'm sorry.
Ted Nugent.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Turning Points USA tries to start a separate but equal super time.
Has anybody told these idiots that they won the last fucking election? You know?
I know, right?
No, but they
They can never be happy. It's
They
well, yeah,
don't know how to
they
react.
They're
have
still
no.
brown people, so they're not happy.
They can rebel. They can criticize whatever the government is if it's not right wing, if it's not conservative, but they don't know how to react when they're in power.
Oh, they're
because
still protesting about the
GOP
government. They call it the deep state. That's still there.
Right.
Still a thing.
GOP doesn't know how to govern.
True, that too. But
Yeah.
they also do not have anything to offer as well too, because
They do
like
know how to govern. What they're doing now is weaponized incompetence, so they can tear down the stuff they don't like.
Not that the
and reinforce the
Democrats
stuff
are
they do.
necessarily any better.
no,
to-
true, yeah.
To a great extent. Okay.
Yeah.
I would
Did
rather have the
you
Democrats
watch-
than the GOP.
Yeah, we have Nazis and
That
Quislings.
ain't
Those are our
perfect
two
by
parties.
a long shot.
Did you watch the
No.
Trump anti-Antifa?
No.
No, I didn't. but
Oh
it's just-
God!
it's just-
Oh
again,
dear God!
if you're Antifa, okay, remove the
You're
fraction.
Yeah, you are just fat. He had a lot of
But
right
these
wing.
people don't understand math either.
We're
He
gonna
had
have
a
to
load of
update the
right-
song. Pho is no longer a long, long way to run. It's
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
killing
I,
Jews.
I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
remember seeing on Facebook and Blue Sky and a couple other places where he made the comment that roughly 100 years ago, Antifa was fighting the Weimar Republic. Okay, so who was going to be in power in the Weimar Republic 100 years ago? I wonder. Who
Like,
that was.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been going on for
God.
almost 100 years, almost since the 30s in Germany. Like-
Oh.
My dad.
Except Trump wasn't, and neither was his father, and neither was his grandfather. They all left the fucking country not
To
to
join
fight
the
on the.
KKK.
Yeah.
I gotta say, my dad was a member of Antifa because he wanted to save Kuwait from a fascist dictator back in 1991. So I guess my
He
dad,
was he tried to kill Bush Senior.
my dad.
I mean, I would.
I really think we need. I know Churchill was not a good guy, but
Oh, no, he
just
wasn't.
to troll these people, to call
Yes.
them Antifa, to sort of.
I mean,
Uh,
as
yeah,
much as I
Trump-
disagree with the Iraq war,
I'll give you my
getting
monthly
involved in
apology
that,
for Churchill and colonialism right now.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Antifa. When they say Antifa, they mean someone who looks like Jesse Gender.
referring.
See, here's the thing with the phrase Antifa. Okay. Just remember 3. Okay, so some of you, I think all of you might be old enough. Isaiah might not be. Okay. To remember the song 3 is the magic number.
Yep.
Yes.
For
Bye.
Americans, I don't know about.
It showed up in the end credits of the third Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
Oh,
in the
did it?
Marvel
So
universe.
three is the magic number. Okay, so
Because there were 3
that
Spider-Mans.
3 is the magic number in politics. Okay, and in speeches. So I was taught when I was in Communication 101 speech class in college. You do it in 3 steps. You tell them what you're going to tell them. You tell them what you're telling them. You tell them what you told them.
Mhm.
Okay. So then you take that rule of 3 and change it to. Do they say Black Lives Matter? No, it's BLM. Do they say anti-fascist? No, it's Antifa. Okay. So they use these abbreviations
Rebranding.
to try to exactly to try. That's the word I was looking for. To try
That's
to rebrand it and make it and to seem like it's something else.
Yeah.
That was similar to what they did when they were trying to get away from like the virulent racism about civil rights programs. They would say, instead of integration, they would say forced busing. Is that kind of
Yeah.
They still do.
Pretty much the same. Yeah.
States' rights instead of like I'm against civil rights.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of which, while y'all are yakking, I'm gonna look that up because there's a specific YouTube.
So now, like
Bet
40.
nobody said concrete jungle until all the white people left the cities.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly. And the white flight and the red lining and that sort of thing. Yep.
Why do white people hate us so much? We did nothing wrong.
It's I
Because
don't
they
know
know
what
that they've done you wrong and they are ashamed and they can't live with that.
We're
they're afraid.
Bingo.
That's
Okay.
Well, that's a
part of
it.
it.
They're also just
Racist.
There's a channel.
there's
called-
a homogeneity
Mhm.
to most white people's existence
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah.
that they don't learn about other cultures, they don't learn about other languages, they don't
Yeah.
learn about other ways of eating even,
True.
or spices to use. Like, they don't learn any of that stuff.
Mhm.
Like if you're black or
They
brown in the
usually
U.S.,
have to be adults and be exposed to the outside world. They finally leave their homogeneous lifestyle in their Midwestern towns and get out into the rest of the world and realize that there's something else out there. And there's many somethings else out there.
That's
Like,
where
there's
China-
a
they turn
huge
around, they run
Chinatown.
back to their
Like-
hometown, and they spend the rest of their lives going to Applebee's.
There's the people who grew up in small towns, but some of them moved to like college or something like that, or to like other places, big cities. I bet my mom the first time she met a black person was when she went to college as well too. Oh, but then there's also just like small town mentality. Some people just like, even if they live in New York or somewhere else, they still have a small town mentality in their head, and that's like they don't
Well,
want
I
to
mean,
break.
A white
him
person of, depending on where they live or depending on where they work, they can go
Yeah.
through their entire day never interacting with a brown person.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, like a Manhattan dude, a Wall Street guy doesn't have to meet a brown person. I mean, if you're black or brown in the U.S., there's no way for you to go through your life without interacting with white people every day, unless
And
you
don't even get
structure
me
your life
started
very,
on
very
how
carefully.
rare it is to actually meet an indigenous person, especially an
True.
indigenous person who knows their roots.
That's a good point, John.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't
when
come
I
up with it. I can't say that was original to me.
I was, I suppose, quite lucky for a white person in Britain. We lived in a small village, but because my dad was a university lecturer, he'd quite often have. There weren't garden parties, but they were a sort of an afternoon picnic and few drinks sort of things
The
for
white
a lot of
elephant,
his.
we know.
Yeah, for his PhD students, and we had PhD students from all over the world. So
From all the
I
colonies.
met and interacted with from we met black people, we met people from Brazil, and it sort of opened my mind up a bit, that maybe a lot of people my age group just didn't really get.
Mhm.
I don't blame you, Mithra. It's just a different generation.
I graduated in 1978. When I graduated, our school had around 400 students in it total, the high school. Okay. There was like 101 students in the graduating class, 83 graduated. But anyway, there were 2 students in there who were not white, a boy and a girl, and they were brother and sister.
My final year at secondary school, so we finished at 16 then.
Yeah.
And the class would have been 180. The year in total was 180 people, and I don't think there wasn't a single brown, Asian, or anybody. It was all white, all the way down.
You know what they call a black person in Duluth, Minnesota? James.
So, yeah.
Yeah. The one black person in Duluth, Minnesota.
I grew up in a huge amount of diversity. I grew up I was born in Encino and raised in Santa Barbara, where we were on the last vestige, the last little tiny bit of property that was still left to the indigenous family members that I was growing up with. And when that property was gone, that was the end of it. But while I was
Santa
growing
Barbara looks
up,
an awful lot like me.
we had that there. And so I grew up with like not just diversity, but like this subtropical climate as well, where I grew up with avocados and mangoes and bananas and stuff like that growing in people's backyards. And hearing the smoke machines going to try to save the citrus and bananas when it would get cold enough in Santa Barbara, which was really rare that it got that cold.
I remember people doing that in Florida.
I grew up in a pretty. So I grew up in the suburbs. This was like the mid to late 90s in Tallahassee. I grew up in a mostly white suburb. Although we had some black people there. One was a good friend of mine, but I didn't have any problems with
We had tons of diversity when I was growing up.
Surprisingly, even though my parents, could have put me in all white public schools, I always had black people in my public schools.
First black person that I ever met outside of those two people, that was Dana and Robert were their names. I was thinking, trying to remember their names. Was when I went to boot camp. And probably a third of my flight, they called them flight in the Air Force instead of squad or platoon. About a third of my flight was black. When I went to college in Minnesota, I was there from 2009 to 2011. I got 3.5 years of a 4-year bachelor's in English, which is why I worked at Walmart. But anyway,
kind of surprised that boot camp didn't make a man out of you. Did they spend too much time playing that song from Mulan?
You should do a statistical study sometime. I could do it, but I already know, kind of sort of know the answer, maybe by osmosis even. How many trans women are vets? There's a lot of us.
Of the ones that I know, it's like there's like 5 I know.
I'll say of the few trans women I know personally, about half of them are vets.
Right. Yeah. And then so I went from that, in my hometown, it's about 2,800 people now. Ooh, big bird. Okay. There are 3 black families. Everybody else is white. Still. I grew up, and after I got out of the cult and whatever else, and started throwing all that baggage, not just behind me, but over my shoulder and off.
Like a continental soldier?
Yeah, there you go. I know a bunch of different versions of those songs. Some you can't sing for kids. But half my family's black or indigenous, and I have black and indigenous grandkids and great grandkids and whatever, because I'm an old fart. Shut up, John. But it's always kind of, I just look back at what I was doing when I was 10, because it started quite young. When I was 10, when I was 15, when I was 20, when I was 30, 25, 30. What I was doing and saying at that time, and it just stuns me that I was doing that. That went through that shit. I was a really bad person. I mean, very, 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 very bad person. There's not a person in this panel right now that would have liked me, and most of you probably wouldn't have even wanted to talk to me.
I was in a fraternity, and I was a randroid.
Oh my god. Okay, I wasn't completely bad like John. I remember the only book of hers I ever read was The Fountainhead, and I got
the rape one. One of the rape
it's like
ones.
a third or halfway through after the grape scene occurs, and she excused it. The quote unquote hero and protagonist, whatever the book anyway. She excused it, and it's the only book I've ever done. I literally just took it and threw it in the trash can, unread. Nope, I'm done with it.
I've done that to more books than I can even count, and that's.
But see,
this is the problem: is when you are brown and you're growing up in this white world, you hear nothing but white voices.
Right.
That's all you hear. You hear their perspectives over and over and over and over again, as if it's original, as if it's
Ain't.
Right. as if it's
Right.
universal.
And it's like,
Yeah, this podcast right now is 3/4 white.
Right.
when you hear that many perspectives, that's the same freaking perspectives over and over and over again, when you're like supposed to be learning in literature, especially, all you hear is white voices. You hear
Yes.
white voices from history, as if that's the only history there.
And if they try to include brown voices, then all of a sudden you get the maggots coming out of the woodwork.
Yep. All of a sudden it's DEI and it's,
Isaac
you know,
Asimov,
they've got
when
all
he was
kinds of
writing
words
his
for it
theory-
now. When I was a kid, like I remember when I was in growing up in high school, when we took American history, and I'm putting this in quotes because it started with Europeans coming over. This is American history.
Yeah.
It starts with Europeans coming over and taking from Native Americans.
Yep.
And the 2 chapters in the book of American history that had to do with Native
Hey, Tara.
Americans was chapter 1
Before
and
Columbus.
this middle, like towards the end sort of chapter that was more modern history. And guess which 2 chapters we skipped
Yeah.
in my class? The
Yeah.
At least in
only
college, they're
2,
honest and call it U.S. history.
like it was absolutely, like my dad used to get upset with when the history teacher got mad with how my behavior was in American history. And he complained to my dad. My dad, who was at this parent-teacher conference and listening to this man complain about me, he just said, well, you know, the only thing that I know about American history is that your hero, Abraham Lincoln, hung 38 of my relatives. And that's all I know about your history. And I think that you should probably learn some of other people's history if you're going to try to lecture my daughter on what she should be learning from you. How about you learn from her? Because she
100%.
knows a lot more than you do.
One of my
100%.
favorite science fiction authors is Isaac Asimov. But the predominance of white male in science fiction is just locked in. Like, well, it's not quite as bad. I mean, you have your stars like Octavia Butler and whoever, but it's just fucking.
Well, that's all that publishers did.
Right.
Yeah.
And editors, because this is the point I'm going to make. Okay, so when Isaac Asimov was writing the Foundation series, okay, he wanted to put aliens in it. Okay.
But his editor insisted that either humans are completely dominant. Yeah.
John McDonnell was his editor and said that he wanted, if he was going to put aliens in there, they had to be subservient, 100%. He didn't use those words, obviously, but they had to be subservient to my words, not his, okay, a supreme version of mankind. And of course, you know where that comes from. And that's there's only one kind, you know, and they're very pale and they got no melanin in their skin,
supreme,
you know, et cetera, yeah. And so he decided to write the series because he wanted it published. He wanted the money because he needed it because he had kids at the time. He decided to write the series as if there were no aliens. So he had the robots. He had this like thought out like way ahead of time. Okay. But he had the robots in the series go through and destroy when they had developed faster than light travel. Okay. Robots went ahead and checked out different planets and wiped out all the other alien populations. He had stuff ready to write for it. And McDonnell told him no. Okay. And then you have people like Robert Heinlein, who I think is one of the premier wordsmiths of the 20th century and a misogynistic, queerphobic asshole.
Oh yeah.
And you know, with Stranger in a Strange Land and The Moon is a Harvest Mistress and whatever, just great what's the word I want? Great settings, great atmosphere, great imagery.
Terrible politics.
Total fucking right wing, very right wing, uber-libertarian, whatever. Libertarians are just
Militaristic libertarianism.
Yeah, libertarians are just uber right-wing Republicans who want to have hookers and get high.
Well, that's always the perspective of the colonizer.
Right.
Sure.
You know,
and unfortunately, Europeans got colonized hard, real hard.
Right.
Like they got their whole fucking like psychology messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Like they took like so many different tribes and peoples that were there in Europe and mashed them together. They ripped apart their belief systems.
Mm-hmm.
They ripped apart their heroes. They ripped apart like everything that it was about that made them these tribal peoples and forced them into this Christian setting, which is abusive. It's like it's overbearing. It's the perfect thing for colonization.
Ask people.
So you're going to blame it on the Jews now? Ugh.
Right.
No, the Christians.
Ask people a perfect example what general religion an Irish person might be, and I guarantee you 99 of them out of 100 will say Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have said that.
What is the second largest religion, or second most common, I should say, in the U.S.?
Second most common version of Christianity, or just
second most common religious identity?
Is it? Are we counting? Are we counting all the Christian sects as one?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, then I will say Muslim.
Right.
Nope. It's none.
Nuns. No religious affiliation.
Good.
Which is not the same as like an atheist, but it's just like it's saying that they just don't identify with any religious.
It might be spiritual.
Yeah, they could be spiritual and still have like some funky little beliefs here and there. They're just not religious.
No, Mithro's pagan, and he's not American.
And I don't fucking mind people like that. I don't mind it because they're not trying to shove down.
Or not getting their kids vaccinated.
Hey, Mithro.
Yeah.
We can invite him to a Samhain celebration.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's this month as well too, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been to a traditional Samhain celebration.
I plan on doing
where
it's on a Friday this year. It's
modern pagans.
So I plan on doing a online version of a silent supper. They had other words for it that were ableist that I initially learned. Okay.
Okay.
So, and I was trying to figure out what I could call it because I didn't want to call it that. And then I came up with silent supper. So I will be doing and explaining what it's about. And the thing is, for the silent supper, okay, I do it because I'm pagan, but you can be atheist and do it. You can be Christian and do it. You can whatever. Okay. It can fit for any faith or non-faith, any ideology, whatever. It doesn't matter. At least the way I practice it.
Well, Grandson will be out October 31st, so I might join you for it, Shiv.
What is everyone doing for Halloween?
I'm actually going to be in Portland for Halloween. Oh, nice.
Are you?
I'm going.
You're gonna be a frog?
Yeah.
Oh, that's you know what? That's happening in Portland right now as well too at the ice protest. That would be fun as well too. And actually, David Graybird also talked about that as a
dressed as a frog and going to a Halloween protest.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he'd be giving out. You put on with a striped shirt. You have a cigarette and a stick holder. You put on the beret. You carry a baguette. What? I don't get it.
I'm gonna be passing out candy on Halloween.
I'm gonna be playing video games.
I'm gonna go to this gay bar that I go to all the time.
Halloween. I'm going to be in Portland. Speaking of Portland, I'm actually going to be in Portland on Halloween because the KamuriCon is happening that weekend as well too. So I'm going to be in Portland from the 30th to like the 2nd, I believe, Sunday. So from that Thursday to Sunday, leaving on Thursday and coming back on like Sunday evening as well.
It took me a minute to realize that you said KamuriCon and not FurryCon.
Don't be furry shaming. Don't be furry.
Yeah,
there'll be a lot of furries there too.
Every con is basically FurryCon. Let's be honest.
Just like and Joey and I have had this conversation before, and I've had it with a really good friend of mine, another really good friend of mine, I should say, who excuse me, they, I'm not going to name them, but they have a very public identity on Facebook. They also have a private account, and then they, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Trusted me enough to send me a friend request on their private account. Okay, so I'm not going to share that, who they are. But we had that conversation where I don't get non-binary at all. Not at all. Okay. But the thing is, I don't have to support someone who's non-binary. I don't have to support, I don't get, I can't say I don't get poly. I'm just not poly myself. But there are things like that, genders or identities or whatever, that I don't get. But I don't have to, because it's not me. It's not my life. Why the hell should I care? If you ain't in my bed, go do whatever you want to do. And even if you are in my bed, okay, you don't have to have permission from me to be who you are. You know what I'm saying? Which is why, of course, I'll never be a conservative.
I try to.
That's true. Like most of us non-binary people are confused by it too. We just like live it as well too. Some of us as well too. I don't know what the hell I am when I'm not a man. I just that's why I just say I'm non-binary. Yes, I'm a weasel as well too. I can be.
I like weasels. That's not a cut. I like
exactly. Weasels. Yeah, weasels are cute as well too. But hold on.
Spirit, termite, whatever.
Smelly.
Filthy pile of lies.
I'd love to have one as a pet, but.
Hold on, Joe. Did you mention what you're going to do this Halloween?
We are going to be dressed in costumes, watching Halloween movies, handing out candy when people come around.
I have a question.
My son is getting married on Halloween.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
What's your question, Dan?
He's actually going up to Deadwood and getting married on Boot Hill, which is apparently an option.
Cool.
Nice.
What was your question,
right there, you can get married right there where Wild Bill Hickok is buried and all those guys that you see in that Deadwood series, because that's where most people know Deadwood.
They didn't actually swear like that.
True.
Their swears were very different.
They also, their teeth were not that nice.
No.
As what's in that show. They didn't look that good.
They also probably
They weren't,
unwashed.
they weren't the 20-somethings,
They were nasty.
Done and
they didn't brush. They didn't wash.
They were almost as racist as Hollywood.
It was pretty nasty.
What was your question?
Actually.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask is the movie is the movie I Know What You Did Last Summer a Halloween movie?
It's a slasher at least.
It's a horror movie, so yeah.
I think it's a horror movie, so you could totally be like that.
Because
do white girls die in it? Yes, it's a Halloween movie.
I'm gonna watch Scream. I'm gonna watch Scream, and I'm gonna watch.
Scream's a good one.
Ghostface
is also Ghostface is also in Fortnite as well too, and you can also be the Ghostface in with the knife with a mythic item as well too. But Joe, you were about to say something.
If you haven't seen them yet, Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You are so they're newer horror but they're so much fun.
Okay. Growing up as a teenager, I never lived that teenage experience that are in those.
No, same here. I just play video games.
Right.
There's a new horror movie out, which is from a dog's eye view of everything that's happening.
Yeah, I heard about
in
that.
the house.
I dressed
Raw,
up
is it? I can't remember what it's called.
I dressed up as an astronaut one time, and I think someone laughed at me about it.
Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Oh.
I think Drop Dead Gorgeous.
There you are. It's called Good Boy.
Drop Dead Gorgeous is so funny. Oh
yeah.
I adore dark comedies.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna
Yes,
start
same here.
streaming on Saturdays, game streaming. But I think what I'm gonna do the Saturday after Halloween, Halloween's on a Friday, is I have all 5 of them. So I'm gonna do a marathon of all the all the Underworld films.
Oh, the Underworld films are fun. Yes.
My future ex-wife.
Kate
Yes.
Beckinsale.
All the Underworld films.
I actually have a connection to that. Not the movies, but I went to a con down in Tampa one time.
Nice.
And Kate Beckinsale was on a panel.
Nice.
And
she was a guest.
Yeah, and she was a guest, and a stalker followed her all the way from Iowa all the way to Tampa, and
Of
Jeez.
course.
he had to go file a police report to get this guy.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's underworld evolution. It's the only time you get to see a werewolf put his penis in a vampire's belly button. Because that sex scene was so oddly placed.
but also Bill Nye as a vampire is just.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Bill Nye was a vampire?
No.
He was the main villain, very first one.
Not Bill Nye the science guy. Bill Nye the British guy.
Oh,
the actor.
No.
I was like, where the fuck is that?
No.
The science guy. The vampire.
According to John, we're all vampires
For a
anyway.
second
So
too, I'm like, how did I miss that?
I immediately understood the confusion there.
Bill Nye, the science guy, is a vampire. That would actually
be a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, fun.
It's actually just a blood condition. See, evolution favors things like this.
Well, my horror novel that I'm working on, the main bad guys, about 25 years ago, I became friends with this guy on a religious/atheist discussion forum. Very rough and tumble. Okay. And he was autistic as well, and he was a fly geneticist. Okay. And so I guess the genus is called Drosophila, I think. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm. Drosophila, fruit flies?
And yeah, fruit flies. And
Drosophila melanogaster.
his nickname was Dross something or other, whatever it was, and we became friends. And like 4 or 5 years later, I was telling him that I was looking for something. If he asked him if he knew of anything where it was, and so there's a blood disease called porphyria. And what it does is one of the things it does is it raises little bumps underneath your skin, okay, of collagen, okay, and then they get dissolved at random. Like 1 week you'll get them for 3 or 4 days, you might not get them for 3 or 4 weeks, and you get them again, whatever. So
makes you crazy and sensitive to sunlight.
In that universe, they are the basis for all of the vampire and werewolf stories and legends. Okay, but they are an actual real thing. And there is a woman. Her name is Isabel Hitzig, and she is she's on the run from the FBI and Interpol and the Catholic Church. And she's also being helped by a guy in the FBI and in a rebel.
So she's a Sada Shakur.
And anonymous and whatever. And she doesn't know why they're hunting her, but she doesn't know why. She's been framed for a very savage bunch of murders, like with people having their intestines ripped out and halfway eaten and whatever. And partly what caused it was I got the idea from the Underworld films. I was like, okay, so what if I was going to write something like this, but I didn't want it to be the typical vampire or the typical werewolf, I do have one that's kind of a semi-humorous series, but that's completely separate. And so I'm just flipping through. There's I can't remember the name of it, but there's a illness version of the PDR. The PDR stands for the physician's desk reference. It's got all the information for every single pill that they make, period. Generic and otherwise. So they have another book just like that for medical conditions. And so I'm just flipping through that one day.
Oh, the DSM, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual.
And it just caught my eye, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that'll work. So there's a lot of stuff that's integrated with that. But the inspiration came directly from the Underworld films. So if you want to be a writer, go watch some vampire films.
Yeah, I was doing a similar thing, writing bits of chapters, different perspectives from essentially a modern fantasy story, because I saw the movie Bright and thought, oh, that's not very good and isn't really well thought out. Yes. And I was like, okay, so a lot of it got into like why. And
Richard Dawkins was protesting, saying that's our word.
Why there's still medicine while there's healing magic, and how, like, on a physiological level, how the special abilities of different creatures would work biologically, and I was having some fun messing with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if gods are real, why would there be churches?
when I write my fiction, regardless of what it is, like with my steampunk, like I have a thing called the chronosphere, which is basically it's sort of a permanent fixed. You can't. They don't have the pocket version yet. Okay, but it's basically it's like an iPhone. Okay, you can talk to each other, whatever. Okay, but they're also expensive. Only wealthy or moderately well off or wealthy people have them, or whatever the heroes have them. And it's in my superheroes novel. I like to do what Stephen King does, other than being a rape apologist, which is to take the real world and just go and twist it just a little bit, just enough to where it's semi-plausible.
You do enough cocaine that you think it's a good idea to have the bad guy be a tire.
Exactly. If you can drink a beer or two and believe in my book, that's what I want to write it as.
Yes, like Stephen King's such a good writer that he's like said, "Oh, Cujo's a good book. I wish I remember how I wrote it," because he was so snowblind that he didn't remember writing Cujo. That's why we can't get a sequel to Cujo. Hold on, Ely.
Snowblind.
Ely, what's your plan for this Halloween?
Not much, because Halloween is not really a Danish thing. It's
That's
been
fair.
for the past sort of 20 years. But it's like it's for children. It's for like tiny children, and
You're just gonna get stoned and watch the movie, this TV show about the guy with the giant penis that can do things.
yeah,
Is that
but
the
that's
Danish show, or is that Dutch?
Yeah, it's true, but it's like I don't get the controversy because it's so silly.
Well, it's because it's
so
a penis,
silly.
and a penis is a
but
threat.
it's like it's like in Danish culture, it's like, yep, it's just like children make jokes about penises all the time, and it's like, what's it's just like a guy who has a really long penis he can use as a lasso, and like it's so silly and so innocent, and
Because
it's like,
Americans are immature. That's why Americans.
but you're prudish. It's not.
Yes.
It's nothing
Yeah,
to
I
do
was gonna say
with
the
immaturity.
cartoon is immature. It's just not sexual.
It's not
one of the best
sexual at
bits
all.
in Rick and Morty
Yeah.
was having Werner Herzog come in and do an extended bit about people making jokes about penises, like he's talking in his documentary voice.
I need to watch some Werner Herzog like movies. All because like Hans from like Stephanie and Friends is my favorite character, because he's such a depressive like character. He's the voice of my depression if I have depression, for sure. But he's also a theatrical person as well too. So he will always be my heart is with like Hans because he's the theater dog as well.
Werner Herzog was in The Mandalorian. He was going for the Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
You know who else was in there was Bill Burr.
Oh yes. Unfortunately,
And
Bill Burr.
I saw the first one where he was just kind of the first clip where he was just kind of joking around and whatever, and then I saw the whole entire clip segment, whatever you want to call it, and I thought he actually did a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of funny.
Also got the anti-Semite from the Daily Wire shows.
Oh, Gina Carano.
That's the one. For some reason, I had Cara Delevingne's name stuck in my
Yeah, I
head.
can't stand that one.
Yeah.
But if you watch and listen to just Bill Burr's comedy, a lot of it leans towards misogynistic.
True.
And then also not conservative, but definitely not lefty. But his actual politics and stuff are very left.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate he's going to Saudi Arabia for like that like comedy festival hosted by the Saudi Arabian government. I'm a little disappointed in that, but then again, remember,
I think his comedy is because he's a white guy out of Boston, and so that's why he's
fair.
wanted to do comedy.
Right,
Yeah.
that too.
Speaking of which, I just reminded, like Joey mentioned, last time or previous time that like they don't like stand-up comedy. You won't be surprised to hear this, but like Behind the Bastards covered the person who kind of created the genre of what we know the stand-up comedy, that kind of style of performance, and
Lenny Bruce?
because no, someone else, actual Nazi. No. Robert, yes. So it's like, if you think it's like, oh, I don't like stand-up comedy, you're not in the wrong, because stand-up comedy was created by a Nazi.
Oh.
White people, of course.
I don't dislike stand-up comedy necessarily, but I dislike it when they get to the point where they're so up their own ass with their own brilliance that they become insufferable.
Yes, exactly.
And a lot of them do that.
So far, yes. I love Hannah Gadsby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Net.
And let's see.
Is that the butch lesbian?
Yeah. Who's also autistic. Yep.
Yeah.
So I think like for stand-up comedy, so long as it's not a cishet white man, there's a chance for it to be decent. Or at least not be terrible.
I mean, it's not guaranteed that it will be terrible otherwise.
Oh,
Josh
yeah,
Johnson is phenomenal.
Some cishet white guys are able to overcome that handicap.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to be Tim Allen.
I saw.
Like Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite, that I guess you could say that they were stand-up comedians because they use that style, is these two guys. They paired up and they called themselves the Indian and the white guy. And they played off of each other. So they played off of the white stereotypes and the indigenous stereotypes, and kind of gave each other shit on stage about being white
or
and indigenous.
Kind of like Michael Che and Colin Yost do with Saturday Night Live. Because what they do is they write jokes for each other that the other has not seen until they come on the air.
Ooh, that would be kind of fun.
It's a fun bit.
And they've been doing it for a while. They don't do it like every single time, but they've been doing it for a while.
I thought Charlie Hill was kind of good, but he was one of the people who tried to do stand-up. Ended up in a couple of comedy movies in bit parts and stuff like that. But he was a stand-up comedian. He was okay.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Steve Hofstetter, who I like enough that I actually saw live. He runs a comedian co-op in Portland. And
nice.
No, not Portland. Sorry, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh.
Okay. That's like the opposite of Portland.
Yeah, it's just another P name. I'm bad with names.
I've liked Hofstetter's comedy for a long time. He was here in Grand Rapids about 2 weeks ago, and I was pissed off like a motherfucker because I couldn't go and see it. But ever since, I mean, I liked his comedy prior to that. I've been watching him for a long time. And there's another one, Gianco Carlini or Carlo, I forget. It's a really good one too. But with Hofstetter, Tennessee passed an anti-drag law, okay, which was immediately challenged in court and was essentially thrown out, okay. But the very next day, it just so happened that he didn't plan on it. You know, he already had the tour planned and whatever. He was scheduled to do a show in Nashville, so he did it in a dress for the entire show. And so there's a part near the end. I think it's about like 3.5, 4 minutes long, where he breaks away from the comedy. I wish he'd do this a little more often, but he breaks away from the comedy and he talks about, in this particular case, he's talking about trans people and, you know, like he mentioned how he went to, he bought the dress, okay, and then he walked up to the fitting room and it had, you know, male and female, okay, and he said, he was like, so which one do I go into? He said, and this is something that I was questioning just for the time I was there, and he said there are people that go through this every day. Maybe they're not questioning, but other people are questioning them. You know, Josh Johnson. Going back.
I've been watching a lot of him lately.
Yeah, I love his comedy. He's awesome. There's two things you can watch Josh Johnson. I guarantee you will see. More than once probably. He'll be talking about something semi-serious, and then you'll see him start to do that mouth lift where he's like, starts to smile, and you know something good's coming. He does it every single show. And the other is every show for probably a good 2 to 3 minute stretch, he's dead serious about something.
Yep.
Whether it's racism or conservative politics or Trump. Or
There's a reason they brought him on the Daily Show.
Josh Johnson
on the Daily Show.
Yeah. And he was a correspondent for a while, and then now I guess he
occasionally guest hosts. Yeah.
Yes. So now with the Daily Show, Jon Stewart will do Monday, and then the rest of the week is like a rotation of guest hosts. But now Josh Johnson is in that rotation of guest hosts.
Good. He's really good.
Jon Stewart sucks.
He's another one that I would love to go to if I could. That I would even take a lot of drugs or whatever, but figure out how to get through, being in public for that length of time. But I would love
drugs or something.
Yeah, I'm one of those
I have to take drugs because I'm sorry.
I know, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's a reason I take shit for anxiety. Like I have to actually go outside of my house, and that's what I tell people. I'm like, there's shit I gotta do to like prepare to get out the fucking house.
Yep.
I have to be mentally prepared, and when you work, and you're working outside the home, and you're carrying that much anxiety, and like it sucks.
Yeah.
You gotta take something.
We kind of broke it off about 6 months ago, but for about 2 years, I worked with a dom from here in the local BDSM community. We had many sessions, and this guy been in my house, in my bed, but every once in a while, for at least during the first 6 months or so, he would say, "Well, I'm going to be in your town, today. Can I stop over?" No, I'm not prepared mentally, physically, in any way, shape, or form. No. When I know you're coming, at least, and I told him, he finally caught it. You got to give me at least 24 hours notice. At least,
Yeah, we had back when I worked for the ARC, we had a few of our clients that had to. Not only did you have to tell them well in advance that they were going to be doing a new thing, but like that day you'd have to like hype them and psych them up for it, because otherwise when it came time to get on the bus to go to, the zoo or wherever we're going to go with them, they'd be like, no, can't.
Yep.
I was doing therapy every Monday at 2:00, and Medicare cut that off. Another story we might get into or might not later. But anyway, so but while I was doing that for about a year and a half, she's a great therapist, by the way. That was at 2:00 on Monday. I did nothing during the day Monday. It's from home, and I'm doing it on my camera, okay? And I still could not do. I could clean house a little bit, but I still could not do anything else. I couldn't go to the store. I couldn't do anything, even if I woke up at 6:00, because I had that appointment. 2:00, and that was pounded into my head, and I did nothing during the day.
Yeah.
I definitely get that sort of thing where I work a second shift, and I can't even like go to the store real quick for like 10 minutes because well, I work later today. What if
what if I get stuck in traffic?
What if
second
things
shift
happen?
Was always my favorite shift. I love second shift. If you're talking about an 8-hour shift.
I like working the second shift.
I haven't used an alarm clock in decades. Okay, because I worked second shift for the most part, the last 10, 11 years I worked. I could sleep in. I would work my shift. I would get out, and people would say, "Well, you don't get up till 10 or 11." Yeah, but I don't go to bed till 2 or 3. And it was kind of the quiet.
We have these fancy light bulbs now. They light things up so you can see in the dark.
Right. Plus, if I work Monday, have Tuesday off, and work Wednesday, that means I don't have to. After I get out of work Monday, I don't have to be to work until Wednesday afternoon. It's like a fucking day and a half. I loved it. It's absolutely my favorite ship.
How fucked up do you think my sleep schedule is, being friends with all of you American folks?
I'm trying to remember where the timeline is based out of.
It's the
Isn't it like 11 o'clock at night there now?
No, it's
9.
It's 9:30.
Let's see. Chicago is plus Central Time here that I'm on is +8, so probably like Great Britain is probably where the timeline is.
That's where Greenwich is,
the Central one, yeah.
And Denmark is an hour later. So
yeah.
Yeah. Right. So my sleep schedule is really weird because also with posting on my cat account, I have to sort of cater it to American people, or no one sees it.
True. Yeah.
Well, you can put it on a delay. Can't you put it on a timer and have it auto post or something?
If I were going to invent anything in the world that was not like super world changing but good in general at the same time, I would invent a laptop, a TV, or whatever. Okay, something you could hook up to whatever. Okay, that would allow you, if it were 3 o'clock your time, to talk to anybody in the world at 3 o'clock their time.
So time travel.
Yeah, sort of visual time travel in a way.
So you would set up some sort of electronic mail.
You've got mail.
Reminds me
some
of
sort of message that you could send by text.
Reminds me of watching / reading the Expanse books and talking about how their communication, based on how far away they were, the lag between when a message is sent and when it is gotten.
So the Ansible is one of the greatest inventions in science fiction. The Ansible is, it's based on quantum hocus pokery. Okay.
Yeah. Magic.
And it's like, okay, it takes me 7 days to travel to planet X, but I can talk with somebody directly right now at the same time on planet X.
As much as I'm generally a fan of just ignoring it and letting travel and communication, there is some science fiction that actually doesn't do that, and as a challenge, and that actually does a really good job of informing the work.
CJ Sherry.
I love CJ Sherry. Oh my god.
Yep. Especially how like basically space travel turns information into a hologram that's constantly being updated as ships travel.
Warner series is phenomenal. I've read all the books.
John Scalzi has 4 different science fiction franchise things that he writes in, and all of them don't have traditional warp travel.
Forever War.
What do you call it? Do essentially have different ways of getting around, the light speed barrier that aren't that.
Lawrence Krauss, another asshole, but anyway, who I used to like, wrote a book called The Physics of Star Trek. And he starts out with the fact that sublight speed would kill you. Okay. Yeah. And in fact, he notes in the book, the first season of Star Trek, after it was over, fans were like, hey, this is going to kill you, right? So they had to come up with something because of inertia. Because inertia would kill you, trying to get up to sublight speed.
Yeah, and also the massive deceleration.
Right. So they came up with inertial dampers. And one of the writers was asked at the very next Star Trek convention, how do inertial dampers work? And he said, very well.
The green one.
Yeah.
Focus pokery.
Clark, a wizard did it. Shush.
Clark said anything. I'm paraphrasing. Any sufficiently advanced
technology. Arthur Clarke. Arthur
C. Clarke is indistinguishable from magic. Yeah.
I will. Okay, so I know it's science fiction, but I do have something to say about that.
Sure.
Maybe not. So this really has nothing to do with inertial dampeners, but it does have something to do with how the ship can orientate itself in space without using its thrusters. So maybe if the ship has these massive flywheels attached to gyroscopes that can align with the stars, like, point it in a certain direction using basically, the momentum from those flywheels. Maybe they can like use that to power their, maybe they can use that for like inertial
Well,
control.
what they do is they use the dilithium crystals to warp space so that they're pointed in the right direction.
Well, I was trying to apply no. Hear me out, because they actually use this on the space station. I found out they use the motion from the flywheels that control the gyroscopes to turn the station, so they don't have to use the boosters that much. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Nerd.
No, sorry. No, that's okay.
That's fine.
But it's okay to suspend disbelief. I mean, like, look at the movie Armageddon.
Oh my God! I
One
fucking
of
love
the
that movie.
absolute worst as far as real science goes. Science fiction movies of
But
all
it gave
time.
us Michael Clark Duncan dancing around in leopard print underwear.
And I've seen that movie at least a dozen times. I love that movie, and I bawl my ass off.
It also killed Bruce Willis.
I love the central premise of the movie, that it is easier to train oil drillers to be astronauts
than it is to
than
train astronauts to use
to
an
be
oil rig.
drillers.
Well, I mean, I worked on a rig a couple days on a rig, but I worked in a sort of subsidiary of that seismographing, exploring for natural gas and oil with dynamite. Book smart will only take you so far.
Yeah. So,
what did you guys think of Godzilla 1998? Because I love that.
Matthew Broderick?
Yeah, Matthew Broderick.
That's all I remember about it.
It's an alright movie. I mean, I love Jenna Rito in that movie as well too, but it's a Roland Emmerich movie, so it's a disaster movie.
You have to like suspend your disbelief that it's even Godzilla, though.
I don't
believe
it's Gojira.
Like, you have to like.
It's just this giant lizard.
It is. It's just a giant lizard. It's not Godzilla.
Cloverfield was a better Godzilla movie, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a creature feature, though, so you can
watch Cloverfield. I couldn't watch Cloverfield because that whole jerky camera.
Oh, the shaky cam, yeah.
Yeah, shaky cam is a problem for a lot
Yeah,
of people.
shaky cam. I don't like shaky cam.
Although I will say about Godzilla 98, if they had named that movie Kaiju, I don't think a lot of Americans would have known what a kaiju was back then.
True. Yeah, back then.
Isaiah, what do you think about Pacific Rim?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I liked it. I haven't seen it since, but I enjoyed it.
I like the first one. I haven't seen the second one, but I like the first.
The second one is okay, but not as good as the first one.
Oh, I mean, that's true with a lot of them.
Yeah,
it's true, but like
what is a movie that
Pacific Rim's one of my
made you
movies.
cry that you didn't think was going to make you cry, or you weren't prepared for crying?
Ooh,
feeling uber sad, or feeling an uber.
AVP made me cry at the end when she's gotten through all of the trials and tribulations with a predator, and the predator's grandfather or chief or whoever that was like turns around and gives her the weapon that she's earned. That shit brought tears to my eyes. Like, I was like,
I was legitimately blindsided by the sad Jesse story /song in Toy Story 2.
Ooh.
I haven't seen it. I've only seen Toy Story 1. That's the only one I've seen.
That would actually.
Toy Story 2 is good.
When Elon Musk didn't get to kill that woman, and the lights go out in his eyes at the very end.
Okay, Eva, you have one. Go ahead.
Beethoven. The movie with the dog.
The big dog?
Like the dog? The dog?
Yeah,
Awesome.
They take it into habit. It's a family who gets this big Saint Bernard dog, and they
the guy
can't
fakes an attack.
with it.
Oh, look, puppy!
And there's a scene where the vet wants the dog for an experiment.
Oh.
So he fakes a dog attack, and the little girl
Yeah.
is the only one who sees him.
Yeah.
And nobody
Oh my
believes her.
God, it's been so
Yeah,
long
and
since
then-
I've seen
and-
that movie.
Yeah, and I don't know. I started to cry because I cry every time there's something about an animal getting euthanized.
That makes
I
sense.
don't know if I've ever seen a movie where it made me cry. Okay, so I have to think.
Or at least, very
Okay.
deep.
No. Here's the thing. I went into the movie theaters to see the documentary film "Won't You Be My Neighbor" about Fred Rogers. I did not expect it. That movie was going to make me cry. That's the movie that made me cry the most in the theaters. I was a blubbering mess throughout the whole movie, as word too.
Really? One thing that didn't make me cry, but it did upset me. It was
Why?
Not the Fred Rogers thing, but there was a preview for a live-action Peter Pan, and it showed the parents rushing to the window after the kids get taken off to Neverland, and they're watching the kids flying away, and all I can think is how terrible that would be.
Right.
For parents to see your kids getting dragged away like that.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, that's true. There's shit that gets to you when you're a little tiny kid, though, that doesn't get to you necessarily as an adult in the same way. Like, there's shit that I've seen when I was a kid that made me cry. That was like when Bambi's mama got killed.
Yeah.
That's a sad moment.
That shit made me cry. And I saw it when I was a dinky little kid in theaters.
Land Before Time.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
Mama dying in that one. Oh my God.
Okay, but the
That
thing is,
one's
like
rough.
with Don Bluth as well too. Now with like
All dogs
Disney,
go to heaven. Oof.
that
one's rough.
Even though the big lip alligator moment as well too. But no, the things like with Disney is that, like, yeah, there'll be tragedy. You're Bambi, your mother's die, but then the next thing, in spring, you're supposed to forget it instantly. So like, but with Don Bluth, and we lost Isaiah for some reason as well too. So hopefully Isaiah's
like
here.
when you were saying, Joey, about being a young kid, Old Yeller.
Oh, I have not seen that.
Happy Family Gets a Dog. Frontier Fun. What? I don't get it.
Yeah. And then for a more modern version, it's still.
Ooh, where the red fern grows.
That's a good one too. It still chokes me up every time I watch the movie. I know it's coming and whatever, but Never Ending Story and Artak.
Oh, Never Ending Story.
Oh, no.
I need to rewatch that, but I do know about that scene with like the horrors
The
that
80s
you're
had a lot of fucked up kids movies.
Oh, Unicorn, the Island of Magic. I'm still traumatized by what I saw when I was 3. When
What's your favorite Muppet movie?
Or
even. I'll put it this way: what's your favorite puppet movie? Because mine is Labyrinth.
Oh, Labyrinth is a good one.
Tied with Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal is a great one, and Dark Crystal is also like Nightmare Fuel for the 80s, well too. But like I've seen this.
One of the ones I was thinking of.
Yes,
Last Unicorn.
Oh, Last Unicorn's great, honestly. Last Unicorn's animated though, but I love Last Unicorn. So it's
a movie.
It's Muppet Christmas Carol for me is my favorite because I see it.
Michael Caine just goes in hard on that, and he doesn't treat them like Muppets. He just acts his ass off.
Yes, he does.
Like Kermit's real.
I think I like Treasure Island a little more than
Treasure Island's good.
Than what do you call it? Christmas Carol.
It has Tim Curry in Muppet Treasure Island. So
that's what puts it over the top. As much as I like Michael Caine, Tim Curry.
There's Tim Curry. Okay.
I mean Tim Curry. Yes.
Tim Curry was. Let's see. In Treasure Island, of course, he was in Rocky. He was the Cardinal in
Three Musketeers.
Three Musketeers.
He was also in Hunt for Red October.
Yep.
He was in Hunt for Red October.
Yep.
Clue. He was a butler in Clue. Or yeah.
And I do have. Joey and I were talking about this earlier, that I did say one. I do have the audiobook version of A Christmas Carol read by him. I had probably over 600 audiobooks, 304 movies, something like that, on this hard drive that I'm trying to recover the data from, and I'm not having a good time doing it right now, and I'm mad as because
I also have I also have his version, or his narrated version of The Christmas Carol.
Oh my God,
and I was having a conversation about that, and it's like, you know what? The phrase "Christmas yet to come" has hits different when Tim Curry's saying it.
Yeah, that is adorable.
I can imagine.
It's like the Ghost of
I
Christmas
haven't actually
edging.
heard it, but I can totally like imagine what it's gotta be like.
Oh no. It's just the way Tim Curry talks. It's just like there's always an innuendo underneath. So the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come reads as the Ghost of Christmas edging.
And Tim Curry's one of the best things about Tim Curry's one of the best things about Legend. He was great in Legend, but also Ferngully. Oh, fucks and love.
That movie was porn.
That movie was porn. Oh my god, yes.
All right, but it was like 3:45, so we need to go.
Yes, we got to fucking end the stream. So shut up, everyone.
No.
All right. I'm just going to Ely has her cat account. I'll post that.
Please call me Tim.
I'm sorry. My apologies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ely has his cat account. Bon O'Connor has like her website as well too. Zayla Taylor.
House of Connor.
Yeah, thehouseofconnor.com. I got everything there. I don't even need anything else. You go there and you'll find it. I got everything there.
Yes, I'm Sunray Geek on like all the social medias as well too, and like Twitch and YouTube, and I'm going to like a stream after I get off this call. And John Brumman's part of like Dungeons and Debacles, a very different podcast, totally different than this. Like a lot of fun. And charity links that page, please. Like give money to people. Joanne Roberts messaged me this morning. I gave her $50. Okay, all right. Don't forget to practice self-care, everyone. Bye.
Jingle amiga.
Bye, folks.
All right.
Ferngully is so weird because it's Tim Curry and Robin Williams trying so hard, acting their brains out, and